I've worked with thousands of victims of identity theft. I've been chasing cyber crooks since the early 80s. When I met Ray in prison, I mean, he really made me sit up and pay attention.
I prefer to think of an outlaw as maybe somebody who kind of throws caution to the wind and maybe bends the rules, if not outright breaks them when it serves his purpose. I think what I do when I'm committing crimes is not normal. But then again, I don't really lose much sleep over it. Everybody's different, you know.
Of all places to stumble across the most dangerous identity thief in America, it was in wine country. You don't get many identity theft experts up here, and I think Ray knew that. He has committed every type of identity theft imaginable. He had never been arrested once in 20 years, yet that first time he was arrested, he ended up with more than 77 felony charges, and all because he was arrested by a cop who was curious.
I was sent to a local business to investigate a crime, and I happened on Ray. The more contact I had with him and the further I investigated, I learned that there was much more than what we had been sent there for. I, at that time, had no idea how intricate and how much time that he had put in to the crime and how sophisticated he was. He's extremely intelligent, and he has no conscience.
I remember for about my 5th birthday, I asked my dad if I could have a big wheel. And I said, Dad, tomorrow's my birthday. Can I have a big wheel? And he looks up and down the street and he goes, I don't see why not. There's a bunch of them just sitting around here. You know what I mean? Take your pick.
One of the worrying things about Ray is that while he's unique, he's not alone. I mean, we know that there are probably around 10,000 identity theft rings operating in the US, so these are professionals who do it for a living.
Tax fraud is easy. To steal your tax return, I just need your W-2 form. It's nothing. They mail you the check or they'll put it right on a prepaid debit card, you know, and that's what's going on this time of year. And to be in jail January, February, March, it's like, oh man, if I was out, you know, because you can just go through mailboxes. There's a lot of W-2s out there. Mail theft is probably 80% of consumer fraud. It's where all the information is. I had this lady's W-2 and I filed it like it was my own taxes. And I had opened up a bank account and I claimed a bunch of tax credits, like a Toyota Prius, solar panels on a house, the Hope education credit, and bumped it up. And the return was like $15,000. The IRS is not running these crimes down because I know of guys that are ordering prepaid debit cards to their own house and they never hear from anybody. They never hear from a policeman or an IRS agent or anybody.
Last year alone, it's estimated that close to 750 million personal records were exposed in data breaches. The way that I see it going and the amount of information is out there, I imagine that at some point every one of us will be a victim of some type of identity theft.
It's not going to stop, and in a lot of ways, it becomes easier. I could steal $10,000 a day without getting out of bed. There's always going to be people like me that like really get off on it. You know what I mean? Like that like to break the rules. That like to, you know, if you say you can't do this. You know, there's people that say yes, I can.